What have you learned about the nature of like confidence and how it builds and how capable and how powerful your potential really is as you've climbed up the
Yeah,
ladder?
I think it is just believing in that Beyonce has the same 24 hours in a day that we do. And I just think like it's literally, you're given one life and it's down to you what you do with it. Like you can literally go in any direction. And when I've spoken about that before in the past, I have been slammed a little bit with people saying, like it's easy for you to say that, you've grown up and you've not grown up in poverty. You've not grown up, with major money struggles. So for you to sit there and say that we all have the same 24 hours in a day, it's not correct. And I'm like, but technically what I'm saying is correct. We do. So I understand that obviously we all have different backgrounds and we're all raised in different ways and we do have different financial situations. But I think if you want something enough, you can achieve it. And it just depends to what lengths you want to go to get where you want to be in the future. And I'll go to any lengths. Like I've worked my absolute arse off to get where I am now. A lot of people don't think that and believe that, but it's true. I've worked so hard.
On that point of time and Beyonce.
So when I first decided that I want to do something like this programme, my initial worry was that the first winners would be the same old. We'd have several weeks of talking about Boris Johnson or Nigel Farage. So I was surprised when doing the first week of 2022, there was one obvious winner. And it's not a politician. It's not a right-wing commentator. It's an Instagram influencer and a former reality show contestant. And even saying that feels like a low bar, to be honest. But as you've just seen in that clip, this award is well-deserved. So, Molly Mae Hague is our first Crud of the Week. In watching that interview in full, because on social media, obviously it's just that clip, and a lot of the response to it, including from her own team, I don't think she's personally commented on it, but even from her own team, it's that clip is taken out of context or what have you. I've watched the full interview. Let me just say, she says some very scary things throughout that interview. That's not the worst thing she says. What is clear to me from watching this interview is Molly Mae Hague is an incredibly naive and an incredibly privileged little girl who really does not know any better. She doesn't realise when she's pushing that old trope of we all have the same 24 hours, what she's doing is very harmful. It pushes this toxic and dangerous viewpoint that if you are poor, if you are struggling, it's your own fault. You should just work harder. And it also becomes very clear that Molly Mae just doesn't realise how privileged she is. And it's infuriating. So let's do the old trope to start us off. We do not have the same 24 hours. That is a lie. Let's compare me to a single mother, maybe. I have no dependents. When I wake up in the morning, I'm my priority. I get to decide what I have for breakfast. I get to decide if I can fit in a workout. On occasion, I've decided to sleep in if I felt like I needed the extra rest. And I've basically just got ready in like 20 minutes, left the house. A single mother with 2 or 3 kids does not have that option. They have to be up earlier than me. They cannot fit in any old shit they want to fit in because they have some lives that depend on them. That single mother has to give them their time. That single mother, even if we are at the same income level, demonstrably has more of her time dedicated to something that she has no choice over that I do. Now imagine that same single mother compared to Molly Mae Hague. Their lives are so demonstrably different, we cannot compare how the two spend their time. That mother simply has fewer options. Even in this interview, Molly Mae Hague talks about how she gets inundated with emails that take up too much time, so she has to give that job to someone else. Even in that example, Molly Mae Hague is telling the world that she has the privilege to ditch stuff she doesn't want to do. A single mother, just because that's the star of this example, even me, most people listening to this cannot have that luxury. They do not get to pick and choose tasks that they don't feel like doing in that moment, because sometimes those tasks are really fucking important and they have to be done. And that's the infuriating thing about this. Molly Mae Hague seems completely blind to this idea that sometimes in life you get lucky. You get lucky and you have a better situation than someone else who's not been as lucky. And you know what? I kind of sympathise with Molly Mae Hague to a degree, because she is so young and she is so naive, and that's clear. She's looking around at the world around her and she sees how lucky she is. She sees her own situation and she compares it to other people. And the only conclusion that she can draw from that is, this must be all me. This must be because I work harder than those poor people. Let me tell you, Molly, that's not the case. But some of the things that came out in this interview, which I found interesting, is Molly Mae Hague actually talks about herself as if her popularity exploded. She talks about herself as an influencer and how much her following has grown since Love Island, and how she doesn't like to talk about Love Island because that's no longer her. That's not a story anymore. It almost comes across that she's under the impression that she isn't anywhere relevant. Sorry to burst your bubble, but she is not relevant. I personally had never heard of Molly Mae Hague until this controversy. Most people commenting on this had never heard of Molly Mae Hague. Unless you watched Love Island, you have no reason to know who the fuck she is. More people know about Molly Mae Hague because of this controversy, because of what she said here, than ever before. And it's because most of them want to call her a dickhead for what she said. So keep that in mind. I don't care if you have millions of followers. Numbers don't mean anything to me. Not like that. If you have like 10 million followers, that's nothing. There's several billion people in the world. That's fuck all. So in your little circle of unity, in your little bubble, sure, you might seem like the most important, and you might seem like you're the top of the world, but sorry, Molly, it's not the case. You are not as important as you think you are. And that's what's really sad. So when it comes down to other things she said in the interview, it is very fucking scary. She talks about her ordinary life and her ordinary home. By the way, her dad was a police officer. She's never been in poverty. Not saying police officers are fucking rich, but they're pretty well paid compared to a lot of other regular jobs, if you want to say. But she talked about seeing her family's ordinary jobs and ordinary lives and living in an ordinary home. And she said this terrified her. She said it scared her. She didn't want to do that. She didn't want an ordinary life. She said she set herself a goal of having £1 million in a bank. And when she achieved that, she said, well, that's not enough. I want 2 million. And she keeps repeating this point of it never being enough, and how she had a dream house at one point, and she looked around at this dream house and she was loving it. And then she went, well, this isn't enough for me. That's scary. The greed in that is scary for a young girl of 22 years old. And it pushes to a wilder point of many people are comparing her to Thatcher, Thatcherite ideas, and it's true. Those are there. And once again, that is scary. So here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Molly Mae Hague has never worked a day in her life. I'm not going to say what she does is easy, or that I could do it. I'm not saying anyone can do it. I'm not saying she doesn't have any work ethic, or that she's never worked hard, or that she doesn't in some way deserve this more than other people gunning for this life. Because that's not the point. True or not, it's not the point. The point is she has taken her privilege and she's turned it in this toxic and dangerous viewpoint that has harm behind it. And here's the positive that I want you all to take from this. She does say in that clip, she does say it. She recognised that there is an element of privilege to her upbringing and where she is now. I would hope that if Molly Mae takes what has happened here and learns from it and grows up, she could better herself. It depends how she responds. So far, all her team has said is that this is taken out of context. It's not. It really isn't. There's worse things in this interview. I want her to comment on it. That's what I'm waiting for. I want her to come out and comment on it. And if she doubles down on it, that's bad. would probably make her 2-time Crud of the Week. But if she maybe apologised, or maybe she recontextualises what she said and recognises the harm in what she said, and she learns from it, she maybe takes this newfound understanding of her own privilege and she turns it into a better platform for herself, then maybe there's a positive there. What I'm basically saying is Molly Mae Hague is not a lost cause. She could learn from this, she could grow as a person. And I really hope, I'm rooting for her, I hope she does grow from this. But for now, given what you said is incredibly tone deaf, incredibly harmful, and incredibly fucking stupid, Molly Mae Hague, well done. You are the first ever Crud of the Week. So thank you for watching this first edition. I'm hopefully going to make this a weekly thing with a different Crud of the Week each week. And I also want to push out more content as well. I very much enjoy doing this stuff. I know we have a small following at the moment, but honestly, I don't care if I'm doing this for one person. It helps me. It helps me to actually commentate on these things and put my feelings into words. And I'm hoping the more I do this, the more confident I get with it, we can grow the following. We can build a bit of a community off the back of it, and I can get involved in the other breadtube and left-wing Twitter community as well and get involved there. So if you have any ideas for content, tag me in it, send me it on Twitter. My socials are in the description. I would love to get back to Twitch streaming eventually as well. We've got question time over here. I predict eventually we'll have an election coverage coming up, and I'd love to be live streaming for that. So we're building this channel, guys. I appreciate everyone's support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bell icon, that always helps. And share it. Give me a share. If you have some not so level-headed socialist communist mates, send me over. Send them to me, and we'll see what we can do with this little project. Thanks very much for watching, guys.